On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Well, it's not Wednesday. Definitely gonna be Monday when this video comes out. So, sorry about you, Karen. I'm not wearing pink on Wednesday. I'm living my life. Get you plastics. Anyway, I just finished watching Mean Girls for the very first time ever. I can finally complete this movie. I had never seen the movie all the way through. I knew the quips, I knew the quotes. You go, Glen Coco. She doesn't go here.
She doesn't even go here.
Every little thing you can quote in this movie, it has a quotable line. And growing up, I would hear it all the freaking time. But I never watched the movie. I never watched it. It always came on ABC or ABC Family or some TV, like one of those stations that shows movies all the time growing up. It kept coming on over and over again. I just never sat down and watched it. I was like, Lindsay Lohan's cute. That's about it. Why didn't you watch this movie? Well, finally, I decided to watch it, and you know what? The movie's just as good as everybody say it is. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And what is Movie Breakdowns? A movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them a grade, A through F, plus and minuses do count. And if there's a movie you want me to review, please put in the comment section below. I'll try to get to it as best I can. And on top of that, I have a Patreon at Patreon/Ali Zakka, where you can jump in line in front of everybody else. You pay on my Patreon the most, like $7. You get movie reviews before they come out on YouTube and Facebook. You get also trailer reactions, trailer reviews, first thoughts on movies, and everything else. Also, you get first come, first serve. You put me a movie in there, like, hey, Ali can review this movie. I go find it, adjust the timeline, and get it out for you guys. Now, let's get into today's review of Mean Girls 2004. So, funny thing, I was trying to watch this movie. Well, actually, before I started watching this movie, I was trying to watch Parasite. And my Hulu went out. So I was like, neat. My Hulu just stopped working on me. You know, it's paid. Whatever. Alright, let's see what movie we can watch here. And I picked up Mean Girls because I had the DVD of it. And I was like, I never seen it. I want to do a review on it. Let's go. And sit down and watch it. And I knew, off the bat, it's a comedy movie. It's comedy. Hands down. But I didn't realize how quippy it was going to be. This movie is super quippy. Like, every little thing somebody says is pretty much turned to a joke. Any tension that's happening in the movie, there's a joke after it to pretty much like alleviate the seriousness. So like, you can never really take this movie super serious, even though there's serious things in this movie that pretty much get some talking points. If you're somebody like, oh, this is what, teenager things you could be going through, finding yourself, being who you are, and not deceiving and lying to people and being cunning, and like show how manipulative people are. Like, there's some really serious stuff in this movie, but every time you get to a moment of seriousness, it's cut by a joke, which, it's hilarious. There's a corny moment where somebody tries to be super serious and a joke is also coming in, and you're just like, okay, cool. But this movie is very quotable. We wear pink on Wednesdays, or on Wednesday we wear pink. I'm a mouse, duh, with the ears. You go, Glen Coco. She doesn't go here. Like, all those lines. Or, you don't have to give a speech in this moment. She's like, I know. Just hilarious. And another thing about this movie that I find adorable and hilarious when I watch it is the side characters and the background characters. There are things that happen in this movie to the main characters. You just look in the background, you'll see somebody's reaction like, what the heck? What's going on? And they're making the most hilarious faces too. And because this movie's a comedy, the tone of watching it is, you come in with lighthearted tone. It's not super serious, and I find it funny. I find it hilarious, and it works. This movie works all the way through. Characters, because it's a comedy movie, don't need to be fleshed out, but it has a consistent story. It rolls together, solid beginning, middle, and end. Just completely good. Completely good. And let's go ahead and get into the storyline of it. So what this movie's about, it's about this girl named Caddy who comes from Africa. She was raised in Africa for about 12 years. She's 16, starting high school as a freshman for the very first time. And Caddy is coming over to, or Katie, not Caddy, Katie, she goes by Katie, it's C-A-D-Y, and everybody else call her Caddy, but it's Katie. I'm not sure why, I just messed it up. But Katie starting school, and she's like completely new, fish out of water, don't know anything. This is the first time that she's been into a public school too, or has a dad call it mainstream school. So she's completely new to her. And at the beginning of the movie, she doesn't have any friends. She's looking around and she's eating in the bathroom. Your typical fish out of water, new school student thing. Then she meets what you consider the outcast. She meets Damien and Janice. Now Damien and Janice are, Damien's gay and Janice is a lesbian. But yet, because of that, Janice is standoffish to anybody, and Damien he's Damien. Because of that, they're like their own little group. But they have like a little subgroup too. And then there's other cliques and stuff, but then the main clique is like the princesses, the popular students, the popular girls. It's called the Plastics, which is made by Regina George, Karen Smith, and Gretchen Wiener, which they all have some kind of money or some kind of hair to them. Like Gretchen is the daughter of the person that created the toaster strudel. So there you go. And Janice thinks it'd be cool that Katie, I keep saying Katie, to pretty much infiltrate their group, because Katie is hotter. It's like she's automatically like naturally hot. So Jen's like, you should infiltrate their group and become one of the Plastics and then break down the group from the inside. Well, Katie decided to join the Plastics, and by her joining the Plastics, she started becoming what she doesn't want to be, which is manipulative, backstabbing, B-I-T-C-H. And that's what happens. So Regina George is the queen of the school. She's queen, wins all the awards, and she's pretty much cunning and backstabbing, manipulative, has a burn book where she writes everybody's name into it and pretty much write bad things about them. And this book is to become a focal point of the movie where it gets out, because she sits it out when Katie is starting to break down Regina and showing like she's a new popular girl in school. Everybody want to be around her and be about her, so like that. Regina gets jealous and pretty much put the burn book out. She sabotages herself and showed the burn book to the world. And the teacher, the principal, gets it, and pretty much the school gets set on fire. Put it that way. It gets set on fire, and they have to have a kumbaya moment where everybody comes together and reveal their feelings and stuff like that. And finally, towards the end of the movie, Katie realizes what she's doing is wrong, apologizes, goes win a math league competition because she's super smart. And then at the end, she finally reveals to everybody that she's sorry and that we're all queens and all princesses and we're all the best and we should all be beautiful and respect each other. Speech at the end of the movie. So pretty much, Katie realized what she's becoming when she joins the Plastics, realized she needs to be true to herself and tell everybody else, hey, be who you are. Be yourself. And that's pretty much the story of the movie. That is it. But the movie is filled with so much comedy and so much levity that serious storyline is pretty much washed out by all the jokes and stuff, but at the same time still holding true to what the story is. I personally loved it. I loved it. The whole, you see yourself as a hero or you die a villain, or you see yourself a hero or you die a hero or you become, damn it, what is that quote? Oh no, I am now losing it. You see yourself as a hero or you die, you become the villain. And pull my phone out because I just lost that quote. Yeah, the Dark Knight quote. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. And that's what Katie's going through in this movie. She's definitely becoming that villain, and towards the end of the movie, in the middle part of the movie, she becomes a villain until you have the whole burn book reveal moment, which is like the apex in the movie, where everybody kind of start telling their story and telling what they are. And Katie's still trying to run away from it. And then she finally comes out and say, hey, I'm sorry, this is me. I shouldn't have done this, and I said this, I said that, and I'm making amends for everything. Everybody kind of like, okay, well, hey, at least you own up. And at the end of the movie, when she finally makes amends and tells everybody that she's sorry, and that everybody, they're beautiful and confident and amazing just the way they are, so be it. And yeah, it's a great storyline with so much just hilarious comedy spread throughout, and I definitely think it's one of the best comedy movies I've ever seen, to be honest. Okay, time to get into some of the cast here. I do want to say this movie is based off a book by Rosalind Wiseman, and this book is called, it's a nonfiction book called Queen Bees and Wannabes, which is based off of the female high school social cliques and damaging effects that they can have on girls. So that's what this movie's based off of. And Tina Fey, the director, she goes in and makes it to a movie. Like, she directs this movie, screenplay, not directed by Mark Walters, but she screenplays it and also plays a lot of parts in the characters and stuff like that as well. And Tina Fey is in this movie. She's actually the teacher who is going through a lot. She goes through a lot. Her name is Miss Norberry, and she gets affected by Katie. Katie affects her and pretty much makes a lie about her, and she's pretty much like that, the voice of reason for Katie. Anytime Katie's going through something, she's always kind of being like, hey Katie, just be yourself, just be yourself, just be yourself. And that happens. Like, Katie listens to her, so she's kind of like the voice of reason for her. Katie Heron, who's played by Lindsay Lohan, and great. Lindsay Lohan facial expressions, the way she acts, stuff like that is great. It's great. Rachel McAdams, who plays Regina George. Now, Rachel's also great. Her quips, her quotes, her sarcasm, her sassiness, it is really just cunning, and she's a great actress, great character for Regina George. Tim Meadows, who played Mr. Duvall, who's the principal, thought he did great. He has this line, and I wrote it here. It is hilarious because, like, when the girls start, after everybody get the book, read the burn book and see what they said about each other, he is seeing what's going on, and he literally says, oh, where is it? Hell no, I did not leave the South Side for this. So the girls are like attacking each other in school, and he has a bat, and he walks out into the hallway when these girls are fighting each other with his bat. He goes, hell no, I did not leave South Side for this, and busts the fire alarm and have like the water sprinklers come on.
Let me help you down there. Whoa! Hell no, I did not leave the South Side for this.
But it's just hilarious because he was so casual about it, and then just said, oh, it's great. It's great. So he was great. Amy Poehler, who plays Mrs. George, she's Regina's mom, and she irked me in this movie. Like, she was that mom who wanted to be a part of the group, who wanted to be young and hip, and she didn't really care how her daughters was raised, but she kept trying to make her daughters like her best, like to be the bestie mom, and she definitely played that character really well. I thought she did great. Lacey Chabert as Gretchen Wiener, great. She did great. Her character, she's the sidekick to Regina George, and she wants Regina to think that she's popular and think that appreciate her, but she's never as good as Regina. Regina's always pushing her down. You know, Gretchen could be just as powerful as Regina, and you see that dynamic in this movie. I thought she did great as that character. Lizzie Chaplin, who played Janice, phenomenal. She did a great job. Her quips, her quotes, her remarks, everything about it. Like, she has one of the best lines where she tells, like, she has a big fat lesbian crush on Regina George, and she does the whole, I think she does the middle finger, and just, yeah, great. Daniel Franzese played Damien. He did great too. She doesn't go here. The Glenn Coco quote, everything about that is great. Where is, Amanda Seyfried. She played Karen Smith. She's like the dipsy, dumb character who's super hot. Yeah, I thought she did great as well. Where is the one dude, I think, here he is. So, Rajiv, R-A-J-I-V. Rajiv Surendra, S-U-R-E-N-D-R-A, Raviz Surendra, who played Kevin Napor. Dude was hilarious. Like every time he was on the screen, he always said something that got your attention, and like he felt out of place, but in place he was like the mathlete who tried to be cool, who's super full of himself and just hilarious dude. And every time he brought into the scene, it was always a moment of levity. You thought he was gonna try to be that guy who was trying to get Katie's attention and try to get her to get her to like him. Not the case at all. He's like, yeah, I died. And actually, Gretchen tried to put that twist on that trope on the movie, and he's like, no, I actually like women of color. And I was like, okay, dude, go for it. You do you, bro. And where is Jonathan Bennett, who plays Aaron Samuels? He is the love interest of Katie in this movie, and pretty much the driving factor. Also, another voice of reason for her. So Aaron and Miss Norbury, they're like the voice of reason for Katie, and like Katie wants to date Aaron, but she can't date Aaron because Regina was dating Aaron a year ago, and Regina tried to make Katie jealous and pretty much sabotage her because Regina wants to be the head queen, the head bitch, and because of this, it's actually puts strain on the movie. So that's like one of the big pieces, your MacGuffin, if you want to say. Like that's the one Katie was trying to get in the end of the movie, and she ended up dating him. But he was the voice of reason. He was the super athlete jock, but he didn't with a cool guy, honorable code who just want to make sure everybody taken care of, doesn't want to hurt anybody, just a nice guy. Which actually, Regina breaks up with him because he only cares about his mother, friends, and sports. And Katie goes, is that bad? So that's kind of true what kind of person Regina is, because she only cares about herself, versus Aaron, who's like, I care about everybody else around me, not me. So he was like the voice of reason with Miss Norbury. There's the voice of reason. He didn't really have that many jokes, but Miss Norbury had jokes left and right. Mr. Duvall had jokes left and right. And the cast is great. So the storyline is a great storyline, and I like how it was. There's two beefs already. Janice had Katie infiltrate the plastic because she was mad at Regina, who they were friends years ago when in middle school. Regina pretty much kicked out Janice when she found out Janice was a lesbian and just really messed up and mean to her. Janice like, all right, I'm gonna get back at her. And when Katie came into the school, she was the cute new girl who Janice like, I'm gonna use her as a puppet to bring down Regina, and Regina thought she can use her as a puppet to add to her clique and pretty much run down everybody else. But in reality, Katie ended up becoming the new, queen of plastics and hurting everybody, in fact Janice. So it was two beefs that happened, and Katie had to be in the middle part of it, and she became a plastic, realized that's not really who she is, and turned back over a leaf toward the end of the movie, become herself again, which is a great just be yourself story with jokes left and right. I thought it was great. The camera directing and angles, because the movie's all over the place. When you watch the movie, like, what's going on? What's going on? There's a quote here, the joke here, the quote here, the joke here. It's all over the place. There's thoughts where Katie has these thoughts where it's like a South Africa and the safari and the wilderness, and like she thinks of lions and buffaloes, and she thinks like, oh, this is how people are, similar to the African landscape and the animals and stuff like that. And there's scenes where the humans are acting like animals, and you're like, where are we cutting to this? And then she's like, but this is school, this is not the wildlife. So like the movie just all over the place. It jumps from bits and pieces, but that's because the comedy of it is all over the place too. I'm pretty sure a lot of characters just ad-lib. Like some of these lines and delivery of the jokes just came out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure this is where the word sass came from, because the movie is very sassy with its comedy. So yeah, I think the one-liner was great, and it adds to the movie and makes the movie great as it is. Now, one of the negatives, this is me super nitpicking, the parents ground Katie at the end of the movie and they couldn't find her, so they go to the party where she was supposed to be going, but she ended up going to a mathlete competition. So she ended up doing like a studious thing, because she didn't know what grounded mean either. Her dad didn't when he made her be grounded. And the parents didn't really bring it up when they saw Katie give this speech about how you should be yourself and be confident and like own up to everything. The parents kind of sit there and proud, but they never talked to her about grounding. That's me nitpicking, but that doesn't affect the grade. But I do want to say, if you decide to watch this movie, because this is a Friday night movie, just be aware this is a product of 2004 when this movie came out. It's definitely a product of the movie of the year. You're gonna hear some jokes that don't age well, especially in 2020. They are some racist jokes, some mental awareness jokes, mental health jokes that are not, doesn't hold up as well. When they say the words, you're like, ooh, they didn't age well. But there was like a few scenes like that, but most of everything else ages pretty well. I actually like this movie a lot, and I thought like as a full story for a comedy, to have a full-fledged story that stayed consistent and didn't get all over the place, and it still was hilarious to laugh at, and the jokes that, the good jokes that still hold up, still holds up and still well. And to me, this felt like a Disney movie that was like, it's rated PG-13, but it was like a dope Disney movie that didn't have like the setting of a Disney movie that didn't have Disney movie stuff into it. Like this literally could have been a Disney movie TV show watered down, but because they went with the route they went and gave the movie the way they gave it, it works even in 2020. So grading time. I'm going to grade the movie Mean Girls from 2004 a solid A. This movie's an A. The camera directing, the lighting, the characters, clothing, what they wore, the costume designs, what wore, how you felt like the characters were dressed, felt the way it should be. Like the plastics, for example, wore skimpy outfits, where the push-up bras and the breasts is all out and stuff like that, because they're trying to be sexy and super popular and get all the guys' attention. So like there's scenes where Lindsay Lohan literally is like, it's, her breasts are just like there in your face, because like the push-up bra she's wearing, it's like up there. But then when she dressed down again, and doesn't wear the push-up bra and just wearing normal clothes, it's like, okay, she's not wearing a skimpy outfit, which skimpy could be like, I don't know, lingerie for a Halloween costume, like literally. So those kind of things, when she's dressed like, you know, just average day clothes, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, she's still cute. But then when she's trying to like be a plastic, she's like, okay, that wasn't like that, you know, the last scene. And it's definitely noticeable, like the one thing, the song Jingle Bell Rock scene during the Christmas play, they're all wearing like skimpy, and these will be high schoolers, by the way. They're wearing skimpy, like short skirt, and this really revealing, not really revealing, cleavage out, short skirt, sexy, Santa Helper costume, and they're dancing and stuff like that. And none of the parents are like, you know, these 16-year-olds probably shouldn't be dressing like that in front of everybody. Just saying, they're, you know, let's talk about this real quick. You know, do you, boo-boo. But at least something a little bit more covered up the cleavage. You know, you're 16. You don't need to be out here showing all that just yet. If you're 18, you're an adult, do your thing. No problem. But you're 16. Just, you know, cover up a little bit more. You know, none of the parents are like that, but it's a comedy movie, so it's not going to be that serious. That's how they got away with it. But at the same time, you're like, okay, she's definitely dressing like a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, 30-year-old. Hold on. Wait a minute. How old are you again? I had to double check and watch this movie. This is side back. Like, how old is Lindsay Lohan in this movie? She's 18. Okay. As a character, she's 16. You're just like, that's not right. That's not right. Not my kids. Not my kids. If I had kids. But yeah. So I do like how the plastics are dressed a certain way, and then how everybody else is dressed a certain. Like other students just dress. They're not trying to be always, you know, push-up bras like that. Like the athletes are dressed down in sweats, and they're wearing, you know, athlete attire. Like it's pretty much a simple high school attire, just like regular clothes. It's also funny because the plaques, like we don't wear sweats on, I think, Mondays or something like that, and they're wearing, and Regina wears sweats, and they're like, okay, Regina gotta go. And there's a point where Regina does get kicked out of the plastics, and I'm not gonna reveal a lot of the movie just because I think you should watch it. But yeah, I do like the character work, costume design. There's also a very cool scene in the movie where Janice confronts Katie, and they're in a car because Damien's like, I gotta be home at 1 o'clock, and it's already 1:10, and I like how they're having a serious moment. He's keep quipping and quoting, adding in quotes, but Janice and Damien are in a car, and they're going around like a bend talking to Katie, who's on the outside of the car. So they're driving around like this band, and the camera is also angling with Janet as they're driving around. It's also going with them. So I do like the camera angles and how this, like, it matches the movie. It's a great movie. It's an A. So you guys seen the movie Mean Girls? What do you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, is there another movie you want me to review? Let me know. Put in the comment section below as well. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. See you next time, and keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about my series. Tell a friend about Grind Towards Success. Tell a friend about the Movie Breakdown series. If you really like these episodes, I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. It means so much. I can't tell you how much it means. Like, it's like, I'll be really grateful you just told a friend and share and subscribe to the series. And thank you guys for watching this. Also, if you want to follow my journey outside of YouTube or Facebook, you can go to my Instagram page, and you can follow me on my Instagram page at Ali_Zakka. It's right here. Put it right here in my face. That way you're like, where's his face at? Well, it's right behind the Instagram logo. Yeah, but you can follow me on my Instagram page. And also, if you want another episode of Grind Towards Success or Movie Breakdowns, you can watch the episode of Grind Towards Success right here. You can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time. Keep being awesome.